About the guys' work ethics, their attitudes, and to me, one of the biggest things we learned a lot last year. We had a lot of struggles, as everybody knows, and we didn't handle adversity very well. And also, I think over the last 2 years, we've kind of lost an identity to our program and how we need to play in order to be successful. And so that's been the biggest thing, trying to teach our guys their roles, how we need to play in order to win. And really, what it is, it's an overall team approach and accepting their roles and doing anything they possibly can to help us win. And they've embraced it. Now's the tough part when all of a sudden you start traveling, you start struggling, you have some tough games. If you can keep the same attitude and energy level that they've had, I think some good things can happen to us this year without a doubt.
Talk about creating an identity. What do you want this team's identity to be?
Well, I want to be a gritty team, one that's going to put pressure on people, and one that's going to be able to learn how to handle adversity. And last year we had a lot of tough breaks with injuries, and we created some problems ourselves, and we didn't handle that very well. And some of it had to do with the people that were filling in were young guys, freshmen who didn't know what to expect and got thrown to the fire. But I think we're going to benefit from that this year. When you look back to our teams a few years back, we knew exactly what we were going to be doing in certain situations. If it was bunting, moving guys over, hitting and running, being aggressive on the bases, and we kind of got away from that. We turned into a team that was a little, I don't want to say wild on the bases, but we just lost the identity of how we need to play. And it's going to start with our pitching and our defense. And our defense was very shaky at the very beginning of the fall, but we're really starting to develop into a solid defensive team. With our pitching staff, with all the guys that we have returning and quality arms, our defense could be a big key to our success this year, helping our offense, or excuse me, helping our pitching staff out and making all the plays.
Helping the pitching staff out. Can Tyson stay healthy this year?
Well, I would have said yes a year ago. He had a fluke injury a year ago where he slipped and tore a ligament in his thumb, and he tried to play with it, but doctors didn't allow him to. So Tyson's looked very well right now. He had the best fall he's had. The one thing about a year ago, he was coming back from an injury where he was out all summer, not only having surgery to his thumb, but also to his knee. So he never got in a groove even before he got injured a year ago. He played all summer long, played all fall, looks very good right now. And also he's getting pushed by a young freshman, Dan Shepard, who's a very talented player, and that kind of gets his attention a little bit also. But Tyson looks healthy. You never know what's going to happen. You only can worry about things in your control. And I'm excited about where he's at right now, and he'll be their starting catcher in that first game on Saturday against Illinois State.
There was a rumor that Shepard's pop time was sub 2 seconds. Is that true?
Well, all of our guys are, really. Actually, Dallas is now. So, they've worked hard. Coach Dillon's done a very good job with those guys. Zach, of course, was from Dowling High School and then was down at Baylor. Played in the World Series, played in AA, so he's a guy that they really respect. They learned a lot in the past from Chris Welker, but our catching, I feel like, can be a big strength for us this year. Again, who would have thought that we would have had our top 2 guys go down with injuries? And now you look at Dallas as our 3rd catcher again, but he's so much farther along than he was a year ago. In fact, he's one of our best offensive players right now, and Dallas is going to be in the lineup every day, and he's pushing these guys behind the plate also.
Jack, you've got a new look infield this year and a big hole to fill at shortstop with Toole gone. To talk about Lee and what you saw in him, bringing him in.
Well, you know what? We felt like we had to bring in a little bit of experience. We thought Chet would be a good shortstop, but he got a little bit overwhelmed last year when Justin Toole went down. Justin's going to go down as one of the best players in the history of this program, and he's a self-made player. Worked extremely hard, played with a lot of energy, just what we wanted in our shortstop, a leader out there. And we saw a lot of the same qualities in Curtis. It's been a little bit of a slower transition, but in the last 2 weeks I've seen a lot of confidence coming in Curtis right now. And he wanted to rush everything when he first got here and be a little bit too quick, and the game's starting to slow down for him. Now, once we get out there on the grass fields, I'm sure it's going to speed up for him again. But I think he's got all the qualities to be a very good, not only defensive shortstop, which is very important, but also a very good offensive player, executing hit and runs, laying down bunts, and all that type of stuff. And he's gaining some confidence, and we need our left side of our infield to be strong. Chet Zeise looks a lot more comfortable at third base than he did at shortstop. And then also Andrew Ewing is battling at shortstop. He's looked very good. And then Zach McCool, we've moved over to third base, and he's pushing Zeise at third base also. So we've got some options there, but those 2 positions I'd like to see, if we could settle into those. at least before we get to our spring trip. So it's going to be a little different looking out there without Justin Toole and Kevin Hoff. Those guys were basically out there for 4 years.
The other big hit obviously came in the backside of the bullpen with Schurz. Who's the closer if he does it right now?
Well, as of right now, it's going to be Kevin Lee. And Kevin had a great summer. He went out to Quincy. They won the Prospect League Championship, and Kevin had 13 saves. He's very, very competitive. He's got a good arm, and you know, he's starting to develop his secondary pitches. He's got a slider now and a changeup, a little bit of a palm ball. So he's very confident right now with the success that he had over the summer. So we're going to give him the first crack at it. And we also have Patrick Schatz and Michael Jacobs there. I like those guys in the setup role. Patrick really. You know, did a great job for us last year, and his arm bounces back, and so we've got some options there. You know, we were thinking about Sean Flanagan, but Sean's banged up his shoulder. He'll be able to play first. He's not going to be able to pitch it all. So we're hoping that it could be Kevin Lee, the guy that steps up, and we're going to give him the first crack at it.
Yeah, talk about rotation right now.
Well, we know this weekend we're going to go with Hippen in the first game, and then Schreiber in the second game. And then really we're just going to see how things play out. With only 2 games this weekend, we know that all we have to do is see those first 2 guys. We got some other guys that are very, very capable also that we like. You know, somebody like Zach Robertson. Zach was a kid that we signed out of Iowa Central that we brought in to be a #1 starter, and there was a transition period for him last year. But he went out over the summer, broke the record for strikeouts in the Northwoods League, looked very good. Dermody's looked very well also for a freshman, but I'd rather keep him in that pen through those first couple weekends and then see where ultimately where he comes out. So we've got some depth in that starting rotation. The other thing is when they're not, who's ever not starting can be in the bullpen and help us out from that standpoint.
Is Dermody going to help you at some point this year?
Yeah, he's going to pitch early, and you know, we think that he's going to be able to pitch. You know, hopefully we get him a couple innings that first weekend. If not the first weekend, for sure the second weekend. And you know, if we got going right now, he's probably going to be penciled in as that 4th starter and midweek starter. So he's made tremendous progress. He's an athletic kid that's got a pretty good feel. He really reminds us a lot of somebody like Cliff Lee. Now he's a freshman. You know, last year, if you look at all these freshmen, you know, they had to earn their way into the rotation. That's exactly what we want Dermody to do. But he's really made a lot of progress since last fall.
Where do you see Kenyon fitting in?
Zach's thrown the ball better than he has since he's been here. Not only that, but his confidence level is really, really going up. And Zach's going to be a big swing guy for us. He's a guy that'll be battling for rotation time. But we're also, you know, coming out early on, we're hoping he's going to be a setup middle type of guy and then possible midweek starter. And the way he's throwing the ball right now, he's probably throwing the ball as good as anybody that we have. So we'd like to see him come out and have some success early on. And I think you're going to see him have an outstanding year for us. And that's a good thing. You know, Zach's potentially a guy that could, you know, be a closer, middle guy, or a starter. And you know, the good thing is he's embracing. He just wants to get on the mound, and he doesn't care if he's a starter. He doesn't care if he's a closer or a middle guy. And so he'll be starting out in middle relief, and he'll be throwing. I would anticipate him throwing maybe that second game on Saturday, being the first or second guy out of the pen, probably.
Offense, retooling that